Pull up a chair. Yeah. We cut that cloth. Mind on freedom. Still in the top. Welcome to the Chop House, where we break the script apart. Shopping love, shopping mouth, carving futures from the dark. From the block to the boardroom, we gon' build this brick by brick with the spiritual thought leader, turning pressure into gifts. Hey, black gold in the bloodstream, old pain in the bone. Turn chains into cheat codes, turn maybe to our own. We talk vision, talk village, talk healing in the mix. Talk that on your name, talk that on your brick. Welcome to the Chop House, where we break that script apart. Shopping love, shopping mouth, carving futures from the dark. From the block to the boardroom, we gon' build this brick by brick with the spiritual thought leader, turning pressure into gifts. Pull up every generation, pull a seat for the youth. Pass the mic like an heirloom, every word living proof. We talk money, talk mindset, talk joy is a right. Every cut is a compass, every story is life. Welcome to the Chop House, where we break the script apart. Shopping love, shopping mouth, carving futures from the dark. From the block to the boardroom, we gon' build this brick by brick with the spiritual thought leader, turning pressure into gifts.
So tap in, don't tap out when the world feels like a test. This the Chop House family, where we chop it for our best.
Let's go.
Let's see. Oh Lord, bless me indeed, Lord. My territory. Oh Lord. Father, we pray for increase, God. We need you to enlarge our territory. Oh, yes, indeed. Bless this house today, oh God.
Let's add a third verse. Why don't you say promote?
Whoa, promotion. Father, we pray for promotion, God. We need you to enlarge our territory. Bless us indeed. We'll wait on it. We'll be patient.
I got one more.
Trusting God.
Try to get what you say. Say, God, you can trust us to expand.
Whoa, expand, expand us. Father, we pray for expansion, God. We need you to enlarge our territory. Expand us, God. Whoa, 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 oh, Lord. Bless us indeed. We'll wait right here. We'll walk in discipline. We'll walk in faithfulness. We want inspection. We want inspection. Increase us, God. Promote us, God. Stretch us, give us more. Stretch us, give us more. We align with you. We align with you. Have your way in our lives. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Expand us, God. Yeah. Expand us, God. Yeah. Promote us. We'll wait on your promotion. God, we pray for increase. Father, we pray for increase. Let there be no lack, God. Let it overflow. Let it fall on my neighbor. Let it fall on my bloodline. Let it fall on my legacy. Legacy, legacy. Legacy, legacy. Legacy, legacy. We believe you for promotion. We believe you for increase. We believe you for expansion. Hey. Oh, Lord. Bless us. Oh, Lord. Bless us, last time, oh, bless us indeed. Act like you already got it. I dare you to bless him and say, bless him and say, if you're for the asking, if you're for the asking, if you're for the saving, hey, save us, save us.
Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. It's yours. The increase is yours. It's so good to see you on tonight. Thank you for joining me this evening for tonight's version of the Chop House. And I am so glad for every last one of the lions that are in here and in my chat. I want to go back and say good evening to Dr. Dady Priest. Yes, that is the wise one who is in the house. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you as always. Your presence always makes a difference. Truck driver is in the room, and so much love coming to you. Thank you for coming in, my brother. You know how we do it, till 10 toes up and 2 palms down. That's the way we do it until. And even after that, we are still going to be connected. Stacy546, so much mad love to you. Come on in here, and I appreciate you, my twin. And as I said, tonight's convo may be something that you can really add a tremendous amount to, just based on some personal experiences that you have. J Trey, my sister, nothing but mad love to you. And I think everybody might have something to really contribute on tonight above and beyond even what I have to bring. I know that we're better together, and there's always so much more when we share one with the other. Hope you can hear me well. Let me see if I might need to turn that up just a tad. And to all of you that are not in my chat, I want to say to Carolyn White Green, who joins us from YouTube, and I have not yet finished getting that connected, but I do have it pulled up where hopefully I can see some of your conversation in chat. I know you were trying to chat, and it's not porting over from YouTube into the conversation where we can see what you're saying. You can see what we're saying, but vice versa is not true. So be patient with me. Listen, things are changing just as quickly as I don't know what. And I have to confess, the Rebel Ink has been my salvation all this time because listen, all this technical stuff, she always would have it taken care of for me. And I just absolutely, oh my God, I just miss her in the midst in that regard, as far as she was my whole tech crew. But nonetheless, sometimes you just got to get out there and jump in and learn it, right? Tonight, I kind of want to go a different direction and a different route. And I'm a person, I love science. And so I want to bring in some science that I'm not going to say that I am the most proficient person in the world. But I do like to dabble and learn different things. That being said, tonight I really want to talk about bringing our bodies into a place of where we can be at our optimum as far as spirituality. Now, I know a lot of times when we start talking about spirituality, immediately people's minds start going to the mystical. And I am a mystic. I do believe in the ability to lay hands on people and see miraculous things happen. The faith tradition that I come from does anoint you with oil. Everybody doesn't believe in that. That's okay. I don't have a problem with it. But I do believe in anointing with oil and believing God for miracle healings and deliverances and things of that nature. Mystical and mysticism really just kind of deals with things that are beyond the natural and that move over into the supernatural. And I believe that God can do anything. I absolutely positively do. And at the end of the day, as one scripture says, Lord, I believe, help thou mine unbelief, meaning there are places that we can just be like totally standing in faith. And then other areas where it seems like our faith may waver a little bit. In some areas we just don't know, some place we don't know, and we have to walk that journey to figure it out. And that's okay too. And that's what the Chop House is here for. So we can have this journey together and figure it out. Now, tonight, I want to deal with the ability to think about how prayer and meditation really helps to reset us. And now, what I'm going to talk about tonight is going to be more of from the natural perspective than from the spiritual perspective. But what did I say? My mission is to deconstruct the walls between the sacred and the secular. And so, I feel like this is just as powerful. And again, I am not claiming to be the world's greatest scientist and the all proficient one on this topic, because some of you may actually have more knowledge and more input than what I have. But when you talk about integrating, deconstructing the wall between the sacred and the secular, and we talk about meditation and we talk about prayer, a lot of that is actually a connection to, and stay with me here. I don't want you guys to jump off and, again, like I said, when you start saying meditation, people automatically, oh, she's about to be new age, she's about to be new age. But I believe that science and spirituality, or science and the things of God, are not at odds with each other. I think they basically enhance and manifest and explain one another, each to the other. And I'd say even some of what we call mystical, if we ever could take the bondage and the barriers away from the way that we think, what is mystical to us and seems like I have no idea, I believe that some of that would be revealed too. But the limitations and the restrictions that we put on our minds and our thinking, I feel like becomes a barrier. But when we talk about meditation and prayer, really what we're doing is, and I hope you all stay with me here, what we're really doing is resetting the vagus nerve. What we're really doing, is resetting the vagus nerve. And so tonight I want to pull in some videos, some charts, and some other things. And again, your conversation is so very welcome. And if you are an aficionado on the vagus nerve, by all means, jump right in and just chat your heart away. But as I was watching and doing some study, because I study in all different topics and areas, and this is what I am always trying to encourage, especially really religious people, or really what I want to say, particularly in the Christian faith. Sometimes you all don't do anything but read the 66. And I'm like, do you know how much knowledge you're missing outside of the 66? And the 66 books of the Bible, again, that's King James Version, because if you go over and get the Ethiopian Bible, which I'm encouraging all of you to have a copy of that in your reading materials. But if you go outside of the 66, there's so much information that can be obtained that will help you to grow and to know more than just Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And I say that with no mockery, with no offense, but there's so much more. And I feel like you will understand so much better if you would expand your thinking. So I read some of everything. I watch some of everything. I'm going to pull up a video, and I'm not going to play the whole video, but I do want to invite you to watch it in its entirety for those of you that might have YouTube. I'm just going to pretty much, hold on.
First time in modern history.
I'm just going to pretty much, sorry about that. As you can tell, my technical, I'm still trying to regain some control of that. But I want to just share some of the intro. And this doctor is very well known. He's a doctor of renown, very respected. And he, Dr. Andrew Huberman, if you haven't heard of him, he does really talking on all kinds of topics as it pertains to health and healing. If you haven't experienced any of the videos of, hey, Dalen 628, there's my girl, so good to see you. Grand evening to you as well. And I appreciate, listen, all these names I see in the chat right now, I'm like, listen, we got a powerhouse of information that can come out tonight. Dr. Andrew Huberman, if you have not seen him, I invite you to, and he's got many books out. I can't give you his complete pedigree, but he is respected at the uppermost levels of medicine, and he covers so many different topics. I wanted to pull this out because Again, if you have not seen it or have not watched any of his materials and don't have him as cue him up, subscribe to his channel because he has some very, very powerful stuff that I'm telling you, it's transformative, especially as far as health and healing. And I want to say this, we talk a lot about the mysticism of, like I told you, I believe in the laying on of hands. I believe in blessed oil, as we call it. I believe in calling for the elders of the church, or whatever way you want to go with those different scriptures, all of that. I have no problem with any of those scriptures and would be considered somewhat mystic. However, I want to encourage us, as we're talking about spirituality, I want us to understand a lot of this we could be healed from if we just treated our bodies right. Hello. I'm going to say it again. A lot of this we could be healed from if we would just treat our bodies right. Some of us need to move our bodies more. The more that you are stationary and the more that you are sedentary, the more your body is going to go into states of revolt. I can tell you, listen, let's go on a 40-day Daniel fast. Let's fast and pray and lay out before the Lord. Let's go get the blessed oil and grease you down like a piece of chicken. Come on, Stacy 546, listen to your body. I'm talking all facts tonight, Dr. Dady. And so we go through all of this, getting in the prayer line. What's wrong with you today, my sister? Oh, my back is hurting me. But baby, you haven't moved. Your back has not moved in who knows how long. And your back is like, I need some activity. Your heart needs some activity. Your lungs need some activity. Your whole entire body from head to toe needs activity. And that can be one of the greatest healing processes that you can incur and encounter right there. And I know sometimes we have some physical challenges. I understand that. I started to bring up, but I don't have it queued. But if you've seen The Secret, which I want to say came out in maybe 2000, 2002, 2005, they had a gentleman who had been in a plane crash. He was a pilot, and they told him he'd never walk again and everything. I mean, the man was vertebrae, just devastated. His body was devastated. They told him he'd never walk again. And in that, he shared how he began to speak to his mind, because there went through different phases of when he couldn't talk. There was a phase when he got his voice back and was able to vocalize and, just gradually, slowly, but surely. But he made a determination in his heart that he was going to walk by Christmas. And this man did what we would think to be unthinkable, but basically what he did, I mean, they showed different levels of his progress, and it was just unbelievable the amount of grueling pain that he subjected himself to. But his mind kept telling him, you can do this, you can do this. And, I started to pull that and cue it up, but I was like, no, I don't necessarily want to go that deep into pulling that out. But I do believe that the mind has the ability to bring you into places and realms that if you focus, if you concentrate, if you discipline, it's a really, really hard thing sometimes to discipline. And I say this even for myself. And hey, I'm being spiritual tonight. This is still spirituality 101. How can we gain some levels of healing for our bodies? And so tonight, part of what I'm going to talk about is the reset of the vagus nerve, the reset of the vagus nerve. But I want to first approach, and I'm going to only play the intro of Dr. Huberman. I want to invite you, watch the full video if you have time at some other point in time. I want to let me see how long. I know it's almost 2 hours long in totality. 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 14 seconds. If you have 2 hours of some time in your day or night when you can watch this in its fullness, Dr. Huberman is awesome. He really, really is. I'm going to show just the introductory clip, which I want to say is maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes long, where he's basically describing the vagus nerve and what the vagus nerve does. This particular video that I've queued up is called Control Your Vagus Nerve to Improve. And this is why I say a lot of this actually is connected to your spirituality, to improve your mood, to improve your alertness and your neuroplasticity, to improve your mood, to improve your alertness, and to improve your neuroplasticity. Now, let me say this about Dr. Huberman. He is a scientist and a medical doctor. So the stuff that he talks about is not any way, shape, or form intended to be spiritual in its context. He's just talking straight facts. He's just talking what your body does, what your body doesn't do, how the body resets itself, how the body responds to various things. When as we go along, and I'm going to pull in some other charts and some other material that kind of expounds, and we're all this is revolving around the vagus nerve. Okay, that I'm just talking about the vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve can reset and help you shift from fight or flight mentality. Your vagus nerve, I'm telling you, this area and this nerve bundle has so much to do with your body, from head to toe almost. And I want us to understand it better. And if we can understand it better, we can have a better understanding, if you will, of how spirituality is, to me, manifested when we have a vagus nerve reset. And again, I feel like it really is a lot of what we prayer and other forms of meditation are really doing. So I've said enough. I don't want to talk anymore. I just want to go ahead and bring Dr. Huberman. Again, this is Andrew Huberman. If you are not subscribed to his channel, I encourage you to do so, because he talks about everything, especially for those of you that are even looking for eating the right foods and how to feed your body. And as he says, he is a believer that if you feed your body the right food, food is your medicine. And I agree 100%. Food is your medicine when you know how to put it together. So here we go. This is Dr. Andrew Huberman, and he's starting the intro of this 2-hour video just explaining what the vagus nerve is and what it does. So here we go.
Welcome to the Huberman Lab podcast, where we discuss science and science-based tools for everyday life. I'm Andrew Huberman, and I'm a professor of neurobiology and ophthalmology at Stanford School of Medicine. Today we're discussing the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve, or what neuroanatomists call cranial nerve 10, is an extremely interesting nerve because when we hear the word nerve, we often think of a small, connection between one thing and another, the wires of the nerve, which of course we call axons. If you didn't know that, now you know, they're called axons. But actually, the cranial nerve is an extensive pathway. It's a whole set of connections that link the brain and body. In fact, in many respects, it looks kind of like its own nervous system within the traditional nervous system of the brain and the spinal cord, the connections between spinal cord and muscle. The vagus nerve is so vast, it spreads out through so much of the body, and as you'll learn today, it's connected to so many interesting different brain areas and has so many interesting different functions that it deserves, well, an entire episode of this podcast. The other great thing about the vagus nerve is it is highly actionable, meaning what you will learn today, if you already know something about the vagus nerve, is going to change what you know and believe about the vagus nerve. What you hear today will also, if you don't know or you're not familiar with the vagus nerve, is going to educate you on the latest about the vagus nerve. We've learned a lot about the vagus nerve and ways to control the vagus nerve in the last few years. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, the information that you're going to learn today includes actionable tools that will, for instance, allow you to make yourself more alert when you want to without the use of pharmacology. It will allow you to calm yourself down quickly when you want to, on demand and quickly without the use of pharmacology or devices. And it will also allow you to alter your mood for the better and indeed to improve your ability to learn. The vagus nerve is that important. It's involved in that many different things. And the pathways of the vagus nerve, as I mentioned, have been charted in more detail in recent years. And the ways that we can get into the vagus nerve and stimulate its actions in specific ways to achieve those endpoints of improved mood, deeper relaxation, fast relaxation, elevated levels of alertness, and on, are now very well understood. So as you can probably tell, I'm extremely excited about today's episode because the vagus nerve is just one of the most fascinating aspects to our nervous system. You have one, I have one, so let's figure out how they work and how to put it to work for the better. Before we begin, I'd like to emphasize that this podcast is separate from my teaching and research roles at Stanford. It is, however, part of my desire and effort to bring zero cost to consumer information about science and science-related tools to the general public. In keeping with that theme, today's episode does include sponsors. Our first sponsor has connections with the head area, the neck area, the chest area, the abdomen, and even a bit lower into the lower intestines. So the vagus nerve is super extensive in terms of its outputs and its inputs. And I'll explain what I mean by outputs and inputs in just a moment. But what's very useful to understand and visualize in your mind a bit, anytime we're talking about the vagus nerve, is we're talking about a nerve of many, many different pathways that both receives and provides information from essentially all areas of the body down to the base of your pelvis. And that stands in stark contrast from the other cranial nerves, which tend to receive information from restricted areas of the body, most typically the head and neck area, and that tend to provide connections to the head and neck area. The word vagus actually translates more or less to vagabond, which means wandering. So early neuroanatomists saw that this nerve, cranial nerve 10, had connections to large areas of the body and head and neck and received inputs from lots of areas of the body and decided to call it essentially the vagabond nerve or the vagus nerve. Now, even though the word vagabond means essentially wandering, and the word wandering kind of suggests random, there is nothing random about the wiring of the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is incredibly precise in terms of where it receives information from and where it provides information to. Now, I want to be very clear what I mean about information. Okay? If you're a biologist, you'll probably understand some of this. If you're not, and I have to assume most of you are not, it's still very important that you understand, and it's very easy to understand, that your nervous system, your brain, spinal cord, and of course your nervous system includes all these cranial nerves, including the vagus nerve, are carrying different types of information along different pathways. Different neurons or different nerve cells within the vagus nerve, for instance, are receiving or giving different types of information for different purposes. For instance, there is sensory information carried by neurons, nerve cells in your nervous system. Sensory information is the kind of information that, for instance, converts light into electrical signals at the level of your eyes. Then your eyes are providing information to the brain about what's out in the visual world. That's sensory information. The same could be said for sound waves. That's sensory information that your auditory system converts to basically your understanding of speech and sound and music, etc. Other neurons control motor functions, literally the movement of your limbs by controlling contraction of your muscle.
And I'm going to stop him right there because, again, the video goes for 2 hours. I just wanted to get more of his intro in because I do respect his knowledge and the reality that he's talking, and he does break it down. I just don't want to get too far into his speech, and I don't want to get a lot of his talk into our conversation today because I, don't want to get into a situation where they feel like I am illegally using his material as well. But I have several different elements, and I tried to start with some very, very basic things that can help us to kind of identify what the vagus nerve actually does and how. So the idea of resetting the vagus nerve is where I am talking about and encouraging us to see how closely it's connected to a lot of things that we would probably see as spirituality, such as meditating. And you'll see a little bit more because the resets, that's where I think you start to see a lot more about how it actually can be considered a part of your spiritual journey. I picked this one as well. I'm going to play this video as well. I picked this video as well because it kind of covers some of the same thing in more layman's terms, so you don't have to necessarily where Dr. Huberman gets a lot more technical with it, and as he starts breaking down what is information and da 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 da. This is going to be a little more or a little less scholarly and just a little more of a simplistic short video that talks about the vagus nerve. And right now you're hearing a lot of people talking about vagus. Is anybody out there that's really heard more conversation about vagus nerve reset of late? Anybody that's hearing vagus nerve reset? Because as Dr. Huberman said, with research and how they've learned so much more, and this is why a lot of science, you really have to stay current because they're constantly learning and they're constantly expanding and finding out more and more information. So what you knew in 2000 and even 2010, what they know in 2026 is going to have evolved and go to a whole nother level. That's why, as you haven't heard, let me see what you said. I haven't heard, but I'm going to look into it. Come on, Stacy 546. This is your first time hearing about this. Okay, so this is again, an area where you have a lot of people, doctors and other people in the learning fields that are talking about the ability to reset your vagus nerve. The ability to reset your vagus nerve. Stacy, I would say go out there and watch Dr. Huberman because that 2-hour video is phenomenal. That 2-hour video is phenomenal. And I didn't want to play so much of what he had. But when I tell you, for anybody that finds this of interest, and everybody really should, because you're talking about health and wellness for your whole entire body. You're talking about coming into another state. And again, let me go ahead and play this video because I'm telling you, the reason why I'm pumped up about it is because as I watched Dr. Huberman's video, and please subscribe so you can get his updated information as it comes out, because he comes out with new studies that and you heard him say he is with Stanford, and he is, as I said, a very renowned, we're not talking about a fly-by-night doctor that just, he's a doctor's doctor that doctors go to, okay? He's that kind of, and he's research as well. And he's very heavily involved in research. And what did they used to say? Teachers that are at an exceptional level, they train. They teach at a different level. So he is a teacher's teacher. So you will not be disappointed. You may have to break it down. And listen, there's nothing wrong. While we're talking about spirituality, there's nothing wrong with sitting down with a dictionary. And while you, or Google, whichever you want to do, while you're listening, while you're watching, while you're studying a thing, look it up. If they use words that you don't know, look it up. If there are concepts and ideas, because again, after I watched Dr. Huberman, I went out and started dibbling and dabbling to see what else I could find to be able to break some of it down at a level that wouldn't be overwhelming for those that, there's some people, they just have no care for science whatsoever. But science, which means knowledge, to know, my God, science, to know, to not know. People are destroyed for lack of knowledge. To not know is what you don't know will hurt you. But as science is constantly learning and gaining more ground about realities that before they were trying to figure out, but now they've put their finger on the pulse of it and have scientifically proven different things. Man, I'm a science fanatic where that's concerned. So I did, after I watched Dr. Huberman, I was like, where can I find some things that I can share that maybe can help those that are not as much into the science level still be able to get something out of this. And this is one of those videos that I want to just kind of share about the vagus nerve. And so here we go.
Nerve, the longest cranial nerve in the body, running from the brain through the neck into the chest and abdomen. It does not control movement. It controls state. This nerve connects the brain to the heart, lungs, digestive system, and immune organs, acting as a communication line between mind and body. When the vagus nerve is active, the body shifts toward calm. Heart rate slows.
Okay, let me stop right there. When the vagus nerve is functioning correctly, you shift toward calm. Okay? Can I say it one more time? When the vagus nerve is operating correctly, and it's a parasympathetic, meaning you don't have to think about it. The vagus nerve is really what's operating all of those parts of your body that you don't have to think about. And it's sending that communication and making sure, and that's why directly to the heart for sure. You don't have to think about your heartbeat. You don't have to think about your heart rate and that you have one, and it just does it. How does it do it? Because the vagus nerve is basically sending the communication and what needs for that to happen. And it's constantly trying to bring the body into what I call homeostasis. Homeostasis is that place of balance of where your body should be. So this is where I really want to deal even from the spiritual element of it. Your body is not designed to be in stress. For those of you that deal with high levels of stress, that's abnormal to the way the body is designed. Okay? Are y'all understanding me? Are you feeling me? If you are a person that's constantly dealing with high levels of stress, that is directly contrary to what the body is designed to do. If you are really in a place of wholeness and healing where the vagus nerve is functioning properly, it will bring you to a state and a place of calm. Okay. Now that's somewhat, and you'll see a little bit later on when I start bringing other elements of reset. Now for reset, that's why I'm going to go back and say, I really want you to watch Dr. Huberman, because there are many different places or means of reset, depending on what it is you're trying to, what area of the body you're trying to address. And so I've just brought in a few, but you all know from head to toe, your body, so many things that need to be addressed from head to toe. And there's a reset for almost every area. So there was no way I could bring all of that into. I just want you to understand, and this is why I connected directly to your spirituality. When you really tap into your spirituality, I believe that you will find that the vagus nerve is being reset properly. The vagus nerve is being reset continuously. The vagus nerve is being addressed, and so that we can bring our bodies into a place of healing, wholeness, and, if you will, homeostasis. So I wanted to stop right there because, again, if the vagus nerve is operating properly, it will bring your body into a state of calm. I wanted to stop on that right there. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm going to try not to stop on everyone, but I want to make sure that you're listening attentively and catching some of this information and why I'm saying this is directly related to spirituality as far as I'm concerned. Let's go.
Breathing deepens. Digestion resumes. Inflammation decreases. This is the parasympathetic response, often called rest and digest. The vagus
Rest and digest. If you're a writer that takes notes, please note that. Rest and digest. And so with that, I'm going to say, notice your breathing deepens. I know that a lot of times, as far as just being oxygenated, most of us suffer from really not always getting enough oxygen and being oxygenated, because just by nature, many of us don't really breathe deeply. So why would you say that, spiritual thought leader? Have you ever looked at a baby when a baby is breathing, especially newborn and in those early years? What do you notice about that baby's breathing? Their whole chest and everything is expanding. Everything is coming back down. Everything is expanding. Everything is coming back down. Why? Because they are bringing all of the oxygen that they can, because the body, to grow and develop properly, needs to be oxygenated appropriately. So you see the rise and the fall of that baby's chest because it's breathing deeply. And the older we get, and then especially when we do things to harm our bodies or to damage our lungs, we find that that breathing gets more and more shallow. We find that that breathing becomes less and less deep in our breathing, and we're just, just barely siphoning off a little bit of oxygen as it would be. So again, we're looking at the lungs, and this is what happens when that vagus nerve is functioning properly. You automatically go into the deep breathing. But the digest and rest. If you have digestion problems, if you have resting problems, I can almost guarantee you that vagus nerve, something's going on there. Because when you come into the vagus nerve and it is reset appropriately, digest and rest, that's what it's going to bring to your body as well. Okay, so touching on those, let's keep going.
vagus nerve listens constantly. It sends signals upward about heart rhythm, gut activity, and internal balance. Most of this happens without awareness. Stress dampens its activity. Safety strengthens it. Chronic tension keeps the body alert longer than necessary. Recovery is delayed. The vagus nerve adapts with use. Slow breathing activates it. Movement supports it. Connection reinforces it. Avoidance weakens its influence. It does not eliminate stress. It helps the body return from it. The vagus nerve is not a switch. It is a regulator, a system designed to guide the body back toward balance after challenge. A reminder that calm is not passive. It is an active biological process wired into the nervous system, waiting to be engaged.
Okay, I'm going to play this one more time because I feel like I talked through too much of it for you to get the full impact of what she's saying. Listen very closely, because again, just let me play it. Don't let me talk. Just let me play. Here we go.
The vagus nerve, the longest cranial nerve in the body, running from the brain through the neck into the chest and abdomen. It does not control movement. It controls state. This nerve connects the brain to the heart, lungs, digestive system, and immune organs, acting as a communication line between mind and body. When the vagus nerve is active, the body shifts toward calm. Heart rate slows. Breathing deepens. Digestion resumes. Inflammation decreases. This is the parasympathetic response, often called rest and digest. The vagus nerve listens constantly. It sends signals upward about heart rhythm, gut activity, and internal balance. Most of this happens without awareness. Stress dampens its activity. Safety strengthens it. Chronic tension keeps the body alert longer than necessary. Recovery is delayed. The vagus nerve adapts with use. Slow breathing activates it. Movement supports it. Connection reinforces it. Avoidance weakens its influence. It does not eliminate stress. It helps the body return from it. The vagus nerve is not a switch. It is a regulator, a system designed to guide the body back toward balance after challenge. A reminder that calm is not passive. It is an active biological process wired into the nervous system, waiting to be engaged. The vagus nerve.
And that part, it's waiting to be engaged. It's waiting to be engaged. This is the spirituality of it, you all. You have been given something physiologically in your body that's waiting to be engaged. And when I listen to all of the different things, and that's why I kind of pulled this particular video in, because I thought they did a good job of connecting in layman's simple terms, something that you could understand. You know, and the thing that safety strengthens it. Now, hey. Now, when I heard that, actually all of those different descriptive details that she gives about what it does, every descriptive detail she would give, a scripture pops in my mind. And that's when I am telling you, the spirituality piece of it is so powerful for me. When she talks about the fact that safety strengthens your vagus nerve. In my mind, man, I can think of so many. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run in and they are safe. I can think about so many different scriptures about safety, in his safety. And I think about how in our spiritual place, when we come to that sense of feeling safety, I mean safety. I am safe. Matter of fact, yes, I heard the song that said, safe and secure from all alarm, leaning on the everlasting arms. You know, it's just that whole essence of when we start talking about relationship with God, it shouldn't just be this whoop whoop out here kind of spirituality that's spooky. There should be that place where you begin to understand elements of safety, elements of things that cause, again, that safety that has the ability to actually activate and strengthen your vagus nerve. So when that vagus nerve is activated, when that vagus nerve is operating, you begin, and again, just that whole idea of it's a regulator of that parasympathetic, of that you don't have to think about. But even though you don't have to think about it, your body still has to think about it. If your body, and again, stress, and I'm gonna keep pressing on stress because stress is a killer, you all. Stress is killing us. Stress dampens it. Stress decreases it. It's not a part of the body's design. I want you to understand that. So if I'm understanding, I'm coming into a place of the safety of the Lord and the security that I feel in my spiritual relationship, and I feel fulfilled and I feel relational. And we're going to talk about some other elements as well, because I want to pull that in, and I got to keep moving because I don't have enough time. But I'm just really kind of belaboring the point right here because I want us to understand how vitally important the vagus nerve is, and how vitally important it is to reset it, and how I believe it is an element that God has put in our bodies that most of us know nothing about, but God put it in our bodies, and it's very spiritual because it's all about bringing back to homeostasis. Homeostasis is that place of balance. What did I say? My mission and my call of God is to deconstruct the wall between the sacred and the secular. And in this instance, we're talking about between being spiritual and meditation for the soul and da 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 da, and the natural of a vagus nerve reset, and all of this coming together to bring us into a whole nother place of existence and give us balance. Balance. It homeostasis. So many of us are living imbalanced lives. And when I say that, more recently, jobs have started talking about work, job, play balance, life balance. Excuse me. But at the end of the day, I'm not talking about something external, even though that does have an impact. I understand that. But what did I say? When I'm talking spirituality, more times than not, I'm asking you to go inward. Are you balanced inwardly? Or are you living in a place of imbalance where stress is at a level that, oh my God. Are you living at a place where, you don't feel safe? And apply that wherever you want to apply it. I'm not going to start naming off categories, but if you don't feel safe somewhere, in some area, then you don't have the balance that we're talking about, because again, we're coming to a place where that vagus nerve is bringing us to a place of balance. Eliminate the fears, eliminate the anxiety, eliminate the stress, and the body through the vagus nerve will do that. I tell you now, I have to keep myself calm because I start getting excited, and I'm so sorry, but I mean, I hope you all are grasping what it is that I'm attempting to share with you about the power of your vagus nerve, about the spirituality of your vagus nerve. So I'm gonna come. Let me just, because I have several different things that I have in here. I don't want to. Okay. Let me do this one. This is another one. This might be the one that I actually wanted to show you, because the intro that he had and whatnot was not. This is going to be Dr. Huberman again, and this may be the one that I really meant to give you in the beginning. I'm gonna roll it because I don't ever not do Dr. Huberman, because I just love that man. I love his mind. I love his ability in research and to break a thing down. I just love it. Here we go. Let me roll this one.
So you're starting to get the picture that even though the vagus nerve is in the parasympathetic branch of the autonomic nervous system, and if that doesn't mean anything to you because you're not an aficionado, don't worry about it, but it's not a calming system. It's a communication system, and it's a motor system. It communicates brain to body and body to brain, and it changes the function of different organs. Now, one thing that's important to highlight is that stress itself will alter the chemistry of your gut because of the ways that it shuts down the vagus nerve and quiets the neurons that communicate from gut to brain. So you're starting to get the picture that even though the vagus nerve is in the parasympathetic branch of the autonomic nervous system, and if that doesn't mean anything to you because you're not an aficionado, don't worry about it, but it's not a calming system. It's a communication system, and it's a motor system. It communicates brain to body and body to brain, and it changes the function of different organs. Now, one thing that's important to highlight is that stress itself will alter the chemistry of your gut because of the ways that it shuts down the vagus nerve and quiets the neurons that communicate from gut to brain. So
now I'm gonna stop right there, because somebody, well, he said it's not a calming system. That's not what it does. But when it's functioning, the function will bring you to a place of calm. Okay, when you are in, as he said, okay, let's go back to that one particular example that he gave in that little clip. It will change different things about organs and how they function. He immediately starts talking about digestion, because how many of you realize that a lot of what has your body in an off state? Is your digestion or lack thereof? Whether it's, and he deals with areas of constipation, he deals with areas of diarrhea. So the idea is not that the vagus nerve is for calming, but when it is functioning, it will bring calm. And there are two different elements to that. When it's functioning, that's not what it's designed. It's designed to do all of the other things as far as it's taking information, it's processing it. And isn't it interesting? Now, this is something that we really don't talk about because I think this is more in later knowledge of science, that a organ of the body can actually change its function based on the vagus nerve saying, this is what needs to happen, that's what needs to happen, because what? It's constantly trying to bring it back to a state of homeostasis. I'm going to have you function and do this. Even though your organ function is designed for that, I'm going to have you function and operate in this because this is what the body needs right now. And it's constantly talking to the brain, and that communication and regulation of what happens in the body is constantly happening. This is constant. Good evening, Kim Possible 711. Come on in here, sis. So much love to you. So that when it does function and the result of it, can I say the calming is the byproduct, but the calming is not what the function of it is solely. It's not designed to calm you, but when it's functioning, it will bring you to a place of calm. I hope that differentiation is making some sense to you. But I'm telling you, this is remarkable when we talk about even the scripture that talks about how we're fearfully and wonderfully made. Oh my God, it's like, do you realize how intricately God has put us together? And if we tap into it appropriately, what all can happen? Now, I'm going to start. I want to start showing. Okay, I'm going to show you some brochures. And this is why I say that in the long run, to begin to understand that the vagus reset, you're going to see it talked about from various different angles and various different aspects as to how you can do a vagus reset. So your vagus nerve might be the missing piece. Your nervous system doesn't respond to thoughts first. It responds to signals. All right. Your vagus nerve is one of the body's main pathways for safety, for calm, for digestion, for recovery, and emotional regulation. And the truth is, your body already knows how to reset. Now, these are just some different techniques for reset that we're being given by this particular source. And when I tell you, it's enough sources out there that cover all different areas and all different types of resets. Well, we're talking about the vagus nerve reset, but for different elements or different scenarios going on. All right, so this one is going to use slow exhales. Slow down how you exhale. A lot of times we do the breathe in, but then slow how you exhale. Humming or singing, and you'll see this in several different areas where a lot of the resets deal with the idea and the concept that humming. Now, if you know how music works for me, and everybody's different, but music works for me, and when you talk about humming, when I first started getting into, after I watched Dr. Huberman, and started getting into the different areas of reset, I said, well, that's why I said it's spiritual. Little did I know that my humming, and you talk about, you've been humming a lot lately. Come on, Kim Possible, reset that vagus nerve. I'm telling you, these are just things that I was naturally doing without provocation. But even in the midst of some of the trying times and some of the different situations that have been going on in my life most recently, that have really been, I'm not going to say a struggle, but could have been overwhelming if I allowed it to be. I'm like you, Kim Possible. I just found myself humming. And then they even have one reset where not only do you hum, but they have you put your hands over your throat, over your neck. And so the vibrations, come on here, y'all ain't ready for me. The vibrations between your neck and the humming and the vibrations that are going into your hands and your fingertips, y'all ain't ready for me. Does anybody have a, are y'all hearing me? Taking the hands and placing them over. Listen, let me be spiritual. I say every day, when you would let your confession should constantly say, oh Lord, let me be spiritual. Even that reset of the humming and or the humming with your hands covering your neck. And that actually is from another reset. It's still vagus nerve, but it's from another area. Gentle movements. Gentle movements. Even take the opportunity, get in a body of water. Whether it's your bathtub, whether it's the swimming pool at the Y, and just let your body feel that gentle movement of the waves. Am I talking to anybody? Gentle movement. And listen, you've been doing the gentle movements to, come on here, Kim Possible. You better come on in here. Gentle movement. Grounding, and y'all know in the Institute for Higher Consciousness, we talk about grounding and being grounded and anchoring the core. Grounding through touch. Come on here. You all, I'm sure, have heard the study of how they took newborns that were put in two different groups. One group that had no touch, another group that had touch, and how the group with touch would thrive and flourish, and the group with no touch would languish and almost die. The power of touch. And can I be here on the spirituality here? We have become so technology oriented. We touch our phones and our digital devices, and that's about it. When's the last time, and it doesn't have to be sexual either, but when's the last time you were intentional about touching? Not just a hug high, not just a hug bye, but when was the last time you were really intentional about touching? When my mother was transitioning, and I brought her home, and she stayed with me those last 3 days of her life. And I made sure the whole time that I touched her. Because the power of touch, the soothing of touch. Am I talking to anybody in here? But we're still identifying ways to reset your vagus nerve. Which then, can I use the opposite? For those that find yourself in states and places of isolation with no human touch and no human contact, do you understand how your body can be screaming your vagus nerve's ability to have reset by touch? Intentional touch, Kim Possible. Intentional touch. Talking about reset. Reset. I would contend that sometimes with our children / grandchildren, instead of such harsh ways of discipline and correction, can we learn to touch more? And I'm not talking about with the strap, the belt, or your fist, or your hand, or, because some of us can, if we're not careful, be borderline abusive. But, and I heard an old person say, never hit a child when you're angry. Go someplace and calm down, cool off, whatever. And of course, I lost some of y'all a couple years ago because I was advocating no hitting whatsoever. And I lost a whole lot of people, but that's okay. But nonetheless, maybe that child needs to be brought in to you and embraced, or given a gentle touch or a stroke. Maybe their vagus nerve needs to be reset. How about that? Am I talking to anybody? Okay, so stepping outside, all of these are different small things, but things that direct signals to your body that say it's safe. And that's really what it's sending the message of safety. It's sending the message of, I don't have to be fearful here. And I'm going to say again, going back to the children, I don't know that we necessarily realize as a big adult looming over this little child, how even though we may not mean to make them feel unsafe, they actually feel unsafe. I got you, Stacy. They actually feel frightened. They actually feel fearful. But then you want them to have this opening up of themselves to you when they're not sure, is it safe? Because it sure doesn't feel safe. It doesn't look safe. The energy that I'm getting is not sending safe vibes. That's not the signal I'm getting. And so at the end of the day, we have to, even like the doctor's Hippocratic oath, do no harm. Can we start? Listen, I'm preaching right now, whether y'all realize it or not. Listen, this isn't our typical of what we expect when we start talking about spirituality. But listen, I'm all over this thing. Is our energy saying do no harm? Because the body is always listening. The body is always listening. Now, even though I brought in the idea of the children, what did I say? Our spirituality. I'm trying to get you to focus back inwardly. So I'm saying to you, because some of you can be very harsh, very hard, very cruel to yourselves. So what type of signals are you sending today to you? Am I talking to anybody? Does the signal that you're sending say, I'm safe? Just because whooping was done to us doesn't mean it was right. Come on, Kim Possible 711. And this, you know what, Kim, as we come into greater knowledge, even as I said, if we understand how critically important the vagus nerve is to us, and I'm just going to deal with whooping from that element and aspect alone. If we understand how important the factor of safety is, and feeling safe, and the signals that sends to the body, and again, let every man be persuaded in his own mind. But Kim, if we understood how important safety was, and I'm going to say, I know I was loved, but I didn't necessarily feel safe. And there's a difference between the two. I know and believe I was loved, but I didn't feel safe. Okay? Now, we got to deal with that. You say, spiritual thought leader, why do you say that? Because when I was in distress and when I was in need, I did not go to those people that were whooping me. I went to somebody else where I felt safe. Now, y'all can get mad at me if you want to, but I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. I'm going to say it once more and again for the people in the back. How do you know you didn't feel safe? When I needed to talk or interact with people regarding a situation that was necessary for me to have a safe space, I did not go to those people that were whooping me. I went someplace else where I felt like it was safe. Come on, Kim. Now, that's what we don't want to deal with. We don't want to, come on. That's why some of your kids won't come and talk to you, because it never felt safe to talk to you. They'll talk to everybody else but you. But do they feel safe? Has there been a nurturing and safe environment? And if there has not been where that individual feels safe, they're not coming to you, baby. They're not. They will find some place that feels safe, and that's where they're going to go. That's who they're going to talk to, and that's who they're going to interact with. Am I talking to anybody? Come on, Kim. I got one in my amen corner. Come on. And these are areas that I'm going to say, once more and again, as we know better, we do better. When we start understanding even just the basic need for the vagus nerve to have safety to reset itself, my God, today, what does that say to you? Do no harm. Do no harm. All right, let me bring in some more. I don't want to go back to Dr. Huberman. This is another vagus nerve reset. Let me come here. This woman is dealing with, come on, truck driver, I'm telling the truth. And I think sometimes as knowledge increases, we would like to stay ignorant because much known, much required. We would like to stay ignorant because we don't have to be accountable for what we don't know. We want to say and feign ignorance, but listen, it's still, people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You just learned about the vagus nerve last year. Come on here, Kim Possible. And I showed just an excerpt of Dr. Andrew Huberman. I absolutely love. He is a professor of medicine at Stanford University, and he's in research. And I like to listen to him because he stays with his thumb on the pulse of what is current in studies. And, there's so much even from old medical ideas and what we thought was knowledge back then. They've turned it on its ear, and they're constantly, the more they study and the more they research, they're coming out with more and more and more. And I'm even, Kim, I'm taking a lot of that old stuff and having to throw it out because that's what was being taught in my day. But honey, this is 2026. They on a whole different something else. And that stuff that I learned back when, honey, a lot of that has been trashed or was nothing more than the foundation in the basement. They built a whole building on top of it and gone on about their business. And I'm still back here teaching stuff out the basement. But I plan to stay caught up. Because I feel like even my spirituality and being able to grow and being able to develop is from staying current with what the current knowledge is. Because get rid of that old stuff. Some of y'all hanging on to old stuff you should have thrown away a long time ago. It doesn't fit. Those clothes don't fit you anymore, so to speak. That knowledge doesn't fit you anymore. That understanding doesn't serve you anymore. And you know that it doesn't because you're finding it wanting. But when there is some truth that you can grab a hold of, latch on. Okay, I'm going to show this. This is going to be, this woman is doing the vagus nerve reset. And let me see, do I have the volume on for her? Come on back. Okay, here we go.
If you suffer with anxiety, panic attacks, or if you suffer with trauma, a disorder like CPTSD, then this is amazingly effective and you can use it over and over again whenever you need, okay? So really simple. What you're going to do is you're going to inhale for 4 through your nose. You're then going to hold your nose and create a chin lock. So you're going to tuck your chin right in. You're going to feel that you've created a lock in the back of your throat, and you're going to hold that for 4. You're then going to lift your head and release and exhale for 6. 10 times. Inhale 4. Hold nose, lock chin, hold 4. Release, exhale 6. Do that 10 times. Count 10 on your fingers so you make sure you've done it for 10. You can do it anywhere, anytime. That's going to reset the vagus. If you suffer with
Anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what she's identifying and addressing here. Anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. So as I said, I just went out and I started pulling out clips of different types of resets for different, come on, Kim Possible. And listen, and this is being spiritual. Y'all can say what you want to say, and somebody wants to hear somebody speak in tongues. You might just, and I don't have a problem with that. Y'all already know I do not have a problem with any of that. However, what I'm saying to you is as you come into more understanding and better knowledge where y'all laying out here foaming at the mouth, speaking in tongues and this and that and the other, maybe you just need to breathe in 4 and breathe out 6. Come on, Kim. Maybe you just need to breathe in 4 and breathe out 6. Maybe you just need to reset that vagus nerve. Am I talking to anybody in here? So come on, let me keep going, because this gentleman, come on, truck, come on. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, Kim Possible? This is why I'm saying this is so intricately connected to spirituality. If we would just embrace the fullness and the totality of it, a lot of stuff that we're out here running around trying to do in the spiritual whoop whoop, some of this can be addressed in the natural. We're deconstructing the wall between the sacred and the secular. We're deconstructing the wall between the spiritual and the physiological. We're deconstructing this wall. Breathing gets us back to center. Come on here, Kim Possible 711. And it may have been before you came in. I talk about your body needs to be fully oxygenated. And by the time we get through, unlike a baby when it's newborn, breathing and you see the full expansion and the full collapse and the full expansion. And the older we get, the farther away we get from that. So there you have it. I'm going to show a couple of more of these only because I want you to kind of get the picture of what I'm saying. And hopefully you may see something or hear something that may bless you.
Gary, how do you open up the vagus nerve?
Vagus nerve? On myself or on someone else?
On yourself.
On myself, okay, vagus nerve. What you get to do is I'm going to take you right here.
Now, he asked that question because he's actually a therapist. He works with people as far as working on them. So he's a therapist. That's why he asked the question on myself or on someone else. So here we go.
Around the trap area, you're going to push down on the trap and you're going to push away from you. So you're going to push down and away. You're going to take your other hand, take your chin, and you're going to rotate it away from you this way. When you get here, you're going to push up and look upwards. And then what you're going to do is, if you can, if you're seated, you can stay seated, but if you...
Now, I'm going to stop right here. Y'all help me. But this is the thing that struck me in this one. Did you note he said, look up? Because your eyeballs... Y'all ain't ready for me. Your eyeballs and the direction that they're looking is still something that's sending specific types of messaging from the look up and live. Kim, can we preach a sermon right there? There's so much that if you even listen and pay attention, even in the minutia, even in the small things, come on and look up, even in the simple things. And this is why I want us to understand some things we've made so hard and so complicated when there's some very simplistic methods to get us back to center. But pay attention. But while he's doing all of this with his hands, there's a direction that the eyes need to look. And I just wanted to listen, the minor things. Pay attention to that as well.
You can squat, and turn your head to the left.
The breathing.
Through the nose. Right there. Come back up, open up, freeze up the shoulder. There may be a connection on that side. It may even change the way you walk on that one area.
Okay. I hope this is helping you all. I hope you all are getting the desired benefit out of it, because my goal was to take you somewhere tonight, not just in watching a bunch of videos, but I want you all to understand how all of this works together. Hold on a second. Let me look at this one and see. Okay, and this individual, here we go. And I think this may be the last one that I'm going to actually show you. There's so much information out there, you all. There's so much to put your hands on. Again, I'm going to say this. Okay, Kim, we'll what I'll do is try to put as many of these in probably Discord and get that out. But this last one, you know, I want to share this one. And here we go. Here we go.
I'm going to share with you 3 acupressure points to help reset your vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a cranial nerve that goes all the way down to your heart, your lungs, and even your digestive system. So it's super important to help calm down and regulate your nervous system and getting you into a parasympathetic state. So the points that I have are going to go along the whole pathway. The first point is going to be in your ear. On the top of the ear, in this area, you're going to stimulate here. The second one is going to be behind your ear, and it's going to be between your ear and the bone that is next to it, so stimulating here. And then the third one is going to be in your hand, and so stimulating around this area, 3 fingers, 4 fingers after your wrist, stimulating here. Do those 3 points about 30 to 60 seconds and stimulate them as needed.
Okay. I mean, just as something as simple as knowing where those points are located so you can stimulate them. Now, I'm going to go ahead. I see the numbers decreasing, so that tells me folks ain't liking what I'm talking about. But you're not going to discourage me from talking about it, because at the end of the day, this is good stuff. And, you know, I thank you all for the ones that are staying, and that's okay. Please know I'm not deterred. But the point of it is, for me, so many times we want things to tickle our ears. And especially when you say spirituality, we definitely go, come on, J Trey. We want to go to the whoop whoop and the mystical. But knowledge, what nuggets I'm dropping tonight, this is knowledge. You know, a lot of this whoop whoop, come on, J Trey, I'm gonna keep telling it. A lot of this whoop whoop is somebody's opinion and somebody's idea and somebody's concocted vision, and some of it's for manipulation and control. I'm giving you knowledge. Now, this is knowledge. So for those that will partake of it, please eat ye all of it, because this is good stuff. Now, I have, let me see what, I've got 2 more things I want to share, and then I'm gonna get out of here. This one is just a chart, or just a flyer, if you will, that I'd like for us to go over. 7 simple ways to calm your vagus nerve, and they go through it from a day-by-day scenario, but I just pulled this one out. 4 to 6 slow belly breaths per minute. Splash cool water on your face and your eyes. Make each exhale longer than your inhale. You remember what the lady told you to do? And this isn't from that, this is from something else, but I'm just showing how they're all correlated. She told you to take 4 in, 6 out. What's the idea? My exhale is going to be longer than my inhale. My exhale is going to be much longer than my inhale. My exhale is going to, and I do this and without knowing. When I tell you all, some of probably why I'm getting so excited about it, I'm like Kim Possible 7-Eleven. There are things that I've been doing and didn't even know it was a vagus nerve reset. I was just doing it because this is what it came to me to do. So when I see this, I'm just swinging from the rafters. Because I'm like, listen, the Holy Spirit will lead you and guide you to in all truth. You know, you don't have to know what it is. And then you'll be like, find out later on, oh, that's what that was. Hey, there's the science to back it up. But what I will do sometimes is go ahead and take in a deep breath and hold it. Hold it as long as I can. And then I will release it as slowly as I can. While I'm releasing, I will consciously think about all the muscles in my body from head to toe. And I'll start with my forehead and go all the way down to my toes. And while I'm exhaling, I'm consciously releasing. And I will start with a tensed body. I didn't put that in there. With a tensed body as far as my muscles. And when I exhale, I go from head to toe and release those muscles to be as relaxed as they can be. And when I tell y'all, whew, it's a reset. And I make that conscious thought about all of my muscles from head to toe, and I consciously release it. Release it. And when I tell you that releases so much tension off of me, if I have a sense of a day that has been stressful and I really feel like this is some real pressure that I need to get up off of me, that's what I do. And when I tell you it releases all of that into the abyss, it absolutely positively does. But not only as far as the muscle releasing and relaxing is what I really want to say. Come on here, Dr. Dady. The relaxing of the muscles, the conscious relaxing of the muscles, and that breathing out as slowly as I can exhale. Baby, it works wonders. I'm just trying to tell you. So we've got, again, make your exhale longer than your inhale. Hum or sing along. I told y'all. Humming. I can't tell you how many places and how many resets I saw humming. Just hum. Now, this is where I want to get into some parts here. Share real eye contact and conversation. And again, technology has pulled us so far away from this. But this is so vitally important. Share real eye contact and conversation. Got to do it, folks. We got to connect. We've become disconnected. Stay connected. Stay connected to somebody. Listen, y'all can run around here talking about, as long as I got King Jesus, don't need nobody else. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Everybody might not be in your sphere, but somebody needs to be in your sphere. That's why God made Adam and Eve, was for companionship. Y'all ain't ready for me. Anyway, and we ain't talking about, listen, it does not have to be marital or otherwise. Just have people, grounded people, you're not a fan of that song. Listen, as long as I got King Jesus, don't need nobody else. Yes, you do. But I understand what you're trying to say. But we need each other. Because why? We need to share real eye contact and have real conversations. Okay? That's number 5. Have real eye contact and real conversations. Number 6, walk outside. Now, y'all know anybody that was in Institute for Higher Consciousness, you know I'm an absolute avid fan of going outside in the elements and just walking outside, especially where there's some water. Y'all know that's my reset. You're guilty of not having eye contact all the time. I hear you, truck driver. But that's okay. We're just going to work on that. We know that we're going to reset that Venus nerve and have some real eye contact. Okay. And, you know, do some soul searching. And when I say this, I'm not talking about some kind of sin or something. That's not where I am. But I'm talking about just internal. What is the discomfort, if that's it, in having direct eye contact? Where might that come from? And I'm not asking you to answer that in this particular chat. I'm just saying, because sometimes we need to. Where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? What's the root of? You know, some people were raised in environments where they couldn't look people. They were told not to look people in the eye, as if they were. And I'm not saying that for you. I'm just saying. I do know people that were not allowed to look, especially adults, in the eye. I was at an event Saturday and sat looking toward the pool with the sun beaming on. Come on, that's what I'm talking about. Walking outside and noticing the sights and the sounds. And can I add this? The smell. The smell. The smell of fresh air. The smell of the flowers. You can't spell. You're funny. You're good. You're good. The smell. The smell of, I'm going to tell you one of my favorite smells. And oh, Lord knows I miss my mama. Fresh baked bread. Oh, something about that smell. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. Something about the smell of, and I'm not a big bread eater. Now, my mama's homemade bread, I would eat that. But now going to the store, I'm not so crazy about, but that homemade, but something about that smell. That's why you hate allergy season. I can't be outside for long. Fresh air allows me to reset. Come on, I'm with you on that. Come on, Kim Possible, I'm talking. And this is the thing. I am a lover of, we had wood burning inside of our house. And so you may not be the one, but the smell of burning logs, the smell. When I was in college, there was a bakery next door to our dorm, and we woke up every morning to the smell of fresh. Ooh, Kim, I would have been in hog heaven, because just something about that smell. It just, the bread of life. Notice the sights, the sounds, the smells. Look into adding, now this, matured hops, bitter acids into your daily routine. Now that one, because I don't, as far as bitter hops and matured hops and bitter acids, that's out of my league. I'm gonna have to check that one out. You all have to educate me on that. I'm gonna have to do some real good looking on the internet on how I can interject that into my life and living style. But nonetheless, I got one more thing that I want to share, and then we're out. I lost a lot of my eye contact when I came out of the streets. I got you, truck driver. I got you. And you know what? I want to say this to you, truck, because your transparency is so beautiful to me. And I love that about everybody, but I particularly love it about Black men when they can be safe enough and secure enough to be transparent. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love your transparency. But you came out of the streets, and I hear you. But I want you to process on that just a little bit, Truck. I want you to process on, because there's nobody in this world that you can't look them dead in their eye and have eye contact. Nobody, nobody. There's no reason why you can't. And I'm not saying that to beat you down or anything like that. I'm just telling you, man of God and my brother, you can look everybody dead in the eye and have that contact. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah. And thank you for being so, again, transparent with us on that. And I encourage everybody, when you find little kinks, because, oh, you're so welcome. No, thank you. Thank you. What did I say? Spirituality is the flow. Spirituality is the flow. And our desire and design is to restrict or stop the resistance in the flow. We want it to be fluid. We want it to be free flowing. So if eye contact puts a kink in my flow, then we got to get rid of whatever's hanging up that eye contact so that we can be fluid in that spiritual flow. Okay? That's what I mean when I say our spirituality relinquishing whatever causes resistance. I don't care how smart, just like I said earlier, the eyes looking upward was a part of that reset, and the eyes need to look upward for that reset. Small things may seem like they're unimportant, but those small things do make a difference. Okay? Makes a huge difference. All right. And then this is the last thing I'm going to do, and I'm gonna let you guys go. I don't know where I am on my time. I'm probably getting close because I talked so much more than okay, it's 8:42. I talked so much more than I had intended to. I said I was gonna come in and let the videos speak for themselves, but I tell you, I just get so excited, I just get diarrhea of the lips, don't I? So thank you all for, as old mother used to say at our church, thank you for enduring me and my folly. But I talked way more than I had intended to. So, but yet and still, listen, the vagus nerve, again, Dr. Andrew Huberman, if you can go back and watch that 2-hour video, he will bless you because he gets into much of the latest information on the vagus nerve, and I want you to be knowledgeable. I want you to be privy. All right, now this is I'm gonna close out with this. Is your nervous system acting like it just drank 4 Red Bulls and watched a true crime marathon? So anyway, he's dealing with that whole idea of overly stimulated. Kim Possible, you're so kind. You love me. I say you love me. My mother used to tell me when I started in ministry, she said, don't make people happy twice. Happy to see you get up and happy to see you sit down. And I've never forgotten that. She only told me once, but at the end of the day, she only needed to tell me once because I know exactly what she meant. Thank you, Kim Possible. You do love me. I know you do. But I want to get the value. I don't want you to just listen to me ramble on. I want you to get the value of what I'm attempting to bring to you. I may not have done justice to it, but I want you to get the value. And if I don't do anything more than to stimulate and spur your mind to investigate, I think personal investigation is always the best way to learn something, in my opinion. So if I've done nothing more than to stimulate your mind and get you to investigate the vagus nerve and the resets that are possible, please, please, please jump all in and do as much research as you possibly can. When your vagus nerve gets stuck in fight or flight, and this is what Dalen was talking about earlier, you start snapping at people who breathe wrong, forgetting where you put your keys, and they're actually in your hand, digesting food like a gremlin, feeling one argument away from moving to a cabin in the woods, And sometimes we can get really, really, really to the point where all of the above seem to be manifesting at the same time. And a gentle little device that basically tells your nervous system, hey, sweetie, calm down. So that's what they're saying. Look at those instances, those feelings, those sensations as your body trying to tell you, your vagus nerve really needs to be reset. Your vagus nerve really needs to be reset. So I wanted to close with this. And hopefully this you will find helpful. If after what we've talked about, what I've shared still seems a little hazy, a little foggy to you, and you're like, I don't know. I wanted to close with 12 signs, and y'all know I don't do the 12 steps too, and this and that and the other. But I want us to have. Oh, I see you, M. Rose. Good to have you with us. Thank you for being a first-time chatter, and welcome to the Chop House. You said first time really watching you, but I think I follow you. Definitely experienced a dysfunctional vagus nerve, particularly with when I burned out as an autistic person. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And hopefully something that's been shared tonight can assist in your ability to reset that vagus nerve. And again, thank you for your transparency in sharing that with the chat on this evening. And first time chatter, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Chop House. Thank you. 12 signs of a dysfunctional vagus nerve: anxiety, easily startled, dizziness, lightheadedness, poor sleep, sleep disorders, heart rate and blood pressure changes, difficulties swallowing, abdominal pain and bloating, loss of gag reflex, low heart rate variability, nausea, vomiting. Because remember, one of the main things, heart and digestive, rest and digest. Y'all remember that? Rest and digest, rest and digest, rest and digest. You're in the process much better than I was last summer, and this is a good refresher. Come through. So awesome, awesome. Last year in general, wonderful, M. Rose, wonderful, wonderful. I'm so glad you're here. Nausea and vomiting, because again, that rest and digest, rest and digest. Constipation, diarrhea, poor appetite regulation, feeling full very quickly, hoarseness, wheezing, loss of your voice. These are all areas, and this is from the Bell Health and Wellness. So I'm going to close with that. I definitely want to stop, and if there's anything that you all want to share, any input that you want to give, I definitely want to make opportunity for that to happen before we close out tonight. I hope that you all got where I was trying to go with this and were blessed by it. Again, when I think about how God has so intricately designed all of this in our bodies and put it together, our body is a temple. And so the way that temple can be maintained at its optimum, let's do our own respective research. I'm happy to keep coming back and talking about the vagus nerve in bits and pieces here and there. This is just a foundational type thing. But as I said, let me put this up, and I'm not going to show it. I just want you to be able to see it so that if you look for it on YouTube, you can know if you have the right one. But I want you to, I want the YouTube, where are you at? Here we go. I want you to
Welcome to the
go
Huberman
out.
Lab podcast.
Hold on, Dr. Huberman. I'm not trying to go there. I just want you to see which video I am suggesting of Dr. Huberman's that you start with. And he will bless you. Control your vagus nerve to improve your mood. And I'm trying to, let me, can I take that back so you can see what it looks like? No, it's actually showing me where it starts. I was trying to get you to see the outside, or the, you know how they do when you do your thumbnail. I wanted you to be able to see the thumbnail. But the Topic is control your vagus nerve to improve mood, alertness, and neuroplasticity. That's the one that I'm recommending that you start with. It is 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 15 seconds in length. It's worth investing that 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 15 seconds in length to watch the video, in my opinion, and have a very, very good understanding. And especially when he starts talking about how the organs, the vagus nerve can have the organs change their regular usage and shift to something else. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right. So with that, I don't see anybody putting anything in over there. And again, why is this a part of spirituality? Because matter matters. M-A-T-T-R matters. Not only the elements, but even the matter of our bodies and how our bodies are intricately put together. All of this is a part of our spirituality. And I think it gives us a better understanding. All right. I appreciate everybody that came in. I'm not going to hold you all the way till 8 o'clock because I think I'm done talking and no one has put in any questions or comments or anything. Carolyn, if you're out there in YouTube, I didn't go back and but we'll connect. But I hope and pray this was helpful to you. We'll come back. Let's see. Today is Wednesday. I'll see you back on Friday at 7 o'clock, and then Sunday. If you want to come back for the sermon on Sunday, we've got an interesting topic that's brewing in my spirit that I want to talk about on Sunday evening for our Sunday unchurched, the unchurch at 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. Meet me back here. I've got an interesting topic that I want to talk about on Sunday as well. All right. I love you so much. We'll see you at 7 o'clock. Have a great night, Dr. Dady. I hope it was helpful. So much love to you. Kim Possible, thank you for putting that link in there. I appreciate you. You guys are just the best. Being here 62 years, this is your first time hearing about this, and I wanted to listen. Truck, my goal is to share whatever I can share, and I hope that it's a blessing to you. Take the bull by the horns and just run with it. Run with it, because I think it's going to bless you. All right, you guys, I love you so much, and I appreciate you for being here at the Chop House. Have a great night.
Pull up a chair. Yeah. We cut that cloth. Mind on freedom. Still in the talk. Welcome to the Chop House, where we break that script apart. Shopping love, shopping love. Carving futures from the dark. From the block to the boardroom. We gon' build this brick by brick. With the spiritual thought leader. Turning pressure into gifts. Black gold in the bloodstream. Old pain in the bone, turn chains into cheat codes, turn maybe to our own. We talk vision, talk village, talk healing in the mix. Talk that on your bed, talk that on your bricks, yeah. Welcome to the Chop, where we break that script apart. Sharpen love, sharpen love. Sharpen mouth. Carving futures from the dark. From the block to the boardroom. We gon' build this brick by brick. With a spiritual thought leader. Turning pressure into gifts. Pull up every generation. Pull a seat for the youth, pass a mic like an heirloom. Every word, living proof. We talk money, talk mindset, talk joy as a right. Every cut is a compass, every story is light. Welcome to the Chop House. We break that script apart. Sharpen love, sharpen love. Sharpen mouth. Carving futures from the dark. From the block to the boardroom. We gon' build this brick by brick. With a spiritual thought leader. Turning pressure into gifts.